Hello everyone, I'm Lien. There are many reasons you may want to learn how to swing trade. Maybe you've got a full-time job, maybe you're seeing patients all day. Maybe you work retail dealing with customers. Basically, you've got a life. You can't be glued to the screens watching every single tick. Good news, this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through my complete 5-step process for swing trading. This is the same framework that I've seen thousands of traders who wanted a more relaxed approach to the markets take. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this video so you don't miss any more of my trading tips and strategies that I share in this channel. But before we dive into the trading tactics for 2026, I need to have a real conversation with you first. Does swing trading actually fit your personality? Here's the thing that nobody talks about. Swing trading has to match who you are as a person. And I mean really match. Swing trading is perfect for someone who's busy, you're working 9 to 5 or longer, you don't have the time or the patience to babysit every single price movement. You want to set your trade, walk away, and live your life. But here's where I need you to be brutally honest with yourself. We all want that, right? Say that you want to swing trade, but if you find yourself checking the charts multiple times a day, to opening your phone and clicking to those quotes, if you got that gut-wrenching feeling every single time that price moves just a little bit against you, going into the red, if you can't sleep at night because you're worried about your open positions, then swing trading probably isn't for you. And that's okay. I'll do a video on day trading strategies. There's no shame in that. It just means you need a different approach. I know you're eager to get to the tactics, and I get it, but trust me on this. Making sure your trading style fits your personality is absolutely critical. It's more important than any indicator or strategy that I'm about to show you. So, what exactly is swing trading? Swing trading means that you're trading off daily or weekly charts. It means that we're looking at the bigger picture. We're looking to hold positions for days, weeks, and sometimes even months at a time. We're not focused on the noise, we're focused on the trend. If that sounds like you, let's get into the 5-step process. So first, step number 1, pick one instrument and master it. Don't try to be the jack of all trades. Look, I've interviewed many traders for my 2 books, Millionaire Traders, How Everyday People Beat Wall Street's Own Game, and Prop Trading Secrets, How Successful Traders Are Living Off the Market. And there's one common theme I found across all of these successful traders. They picked 1, maximum 2 instruments, and they mastered them. They didn't try to trade everything. They went deep, not wide. So my recommendation is focus on the liquid markets. If you're brand new and you're trading Forex, start with the Eurodollar or the NASDAQ or gold. These are the most liquid instruments, so it's more well-behaved, you'll find cleaner setups, and once you're comfortable, then you can diversify a little bit. But whatever you choose, stick with it. Get to know the moves, learn its personality, and that knowledge compounds over time and makes it basically instinctual. Step number 2, pick your time frame now that you figured out what instrument you want to trade. For swing trading, we're focusing on daily charts, weekly charts, or even 4-hour charts. Some of the 4-hour chart trades could actually last for a few days depending on the setup. Here's what most people don't understand. No single trading strategy works on every time frame. You need to match the strategy to the right time frame, and I'll share mine with you later in this video, so stick around for that. Step number 3, technical indicators and your setup. All right, now we're getting into the good stuff. But before I show you any specific strategy, there's one rule I need you to burn into your brain. That is that the number 1 most important thing is to trade with the momentum, not against it. Either you're trying to pick a top or bottom, make sure the market has actually started to reverse before you join the move. Don't try to catch a falling knife. Don't try to be the hero. In uptrends, look for long setups. In downtrends, look for short setups. It's that simple. And here's the big one. Avoid choppy markets altogether. If price is just chopping back and forth with no clear direction, stay out. And I'll tell you a tip and trading strategy to show you exactly how. There are easier opportunities. So let's talk about how to identify a trend. A simple and incredibly effective indicator tool is moving averages. I love them. My favorite is the 50-day simple moving average. This level is watched closely by institutional and individual trend traders. It's a very important trend confirmation level. And here's the rule of thumb. If the price is above the 50 SMA, the uptrend is holding strong. The price is below it, the trend is bearish. And the price breaks from above the 50 SMA to below it. That's a sign that the trend may have changed. And if you want to look at other moving averages as well, that's perfectly fine. And one easy way to do that is to have a moving average trend meter. These trend meters are extraordinarily helpful. The way they work is that they tell you what the trend looks like at a glance on the daily chart, 4-hour chart, 1-hour chart, 15-minute chart, and 5-minute chart. You can see here it's all red, which means that on every single time frame, the trend is bearish. And that is defined by whether the price is below the 5, 20, 50, 100, and 200 SMA SMAs. These are all fully customizable to the moving averages that you like. So you can change it to whatever you want, put it wherever you want. And we also have the EMA meter. And what I really like about this is that by having these on the chart, if I'm looking around and the time is changing, it will show me even at this time whether some of the short-term measures are turning positive. It is that could be telling me that, Kathy, while you're short, maybe there's some sort of support that's Eurodollar is finding that you may not have been aware of if you didn't have these trend meters here. They work on Forex, they work on gold, gold, NASDAQ. You can put them on almost virtually any instrument. Like here, it says, okay, the overall trend is positive, Kathy, on the 1-day chart, 4-hour chart, but the short-term time frames, it's bearish, which means that it's losing momentum. So you probably don't want to be long. Take a look at it at NIQ. You can see, short-term bearish and, all the way to the 4-hour chart, which means that we're probably seeing, at least for the time being, the max of the move, and maybe we'll see a little bit of a pullback or a deeper pullback in NASDAQ. So once again, you can use this across different time frames, and it is really helpful while you're watching the markets live because you can't be flipping across every time frame. It shows you on your chart exactly what the trend is at any point in time. You can get our TradingView Trend Meters free by using our link and code with our sponsors. Instructions are in the description of this video. Now let's talk about how we actually enter a swing trade. One of my favorite approaches is using perfect order setups and then waiting for a retracement to get a better price instead of chasing the move. If you're not familiar with the term, a perfect order simply means that moving averages are stacked in the right sequence. So that means in the uptrend, the shorter moving averages sit on top. So for example, the 20 is above the 50, which is above the 100. In the downtrend, it's the opposite. The longer term averages lead with the 100 above the 50 and the 50 above the 20. And for this strategy that I'm going to share with you today, we'll be using 4 moving averages, the 20, 50, 100, and 200 period moving averages on the 4-hour chart. I personally prefer the 4-hour time frame over the daily for swing trading because daily charts can move painfully slow, and it will take a very long time for trades to show up. It could be months and months, and then you forget about the strategy. And honestly, I don't have the patience for that. A lot can happen in a few months, and maybe I'll miss that one trade. That said, the same concept can be absolutely applied to the daily chart as well, just with tighter risk management and stops. So let's go to the charts to break down the strategy. Okay, so I've got 4 moving averages here, the 20, 50, 100, 200, and we're looking at this the 4-hour chart. 20 is the yellow line, the blue line is 50, 100 is the red line, and 200 is the green line. We actually have a perfect order right here, where the 20 is above the 50, which is above the 100, 200. So what we want to do is we want to look for the perfect order, but we want to wait for a retrace to the 50 SMA. So here's the first time we get a perfect order in this chart, or the last time we did, where the yellow, which was below the 50, finally rises above it, and we get a perfect order on this candle. But we don't take this trade right off the bat. We wait for a better price, which basically is a retrace to the 50. So we enter right over here, 156.47. So our stop is at 156.05. So we enter 156.47, stop 156.05. So basically 40 pips. And you can go for 2 to 3 times risk. Let's say it's 2 times risk, that's 80 pips. 3 times risk is 120. Even if it's 120 pips, that's 158.66, which would have been triggered right over here. But 2 to 3 times, I think is pretty good on this type of chart. That was this perfect order. Let's see, we had a perfect order over here. So here, you're not buying up. You want to wait for the retrace to the 50, which is right over here, 155.87. And the stop is 155.56, so 30-point stop. This low here is not 56, so we stay in the trade. So we go long at 155.84 entry. And so I think it was a 30-point stop, right? So we go long right over here, green line, yep, 30. It's actually less than 30, but let's say 30. So we do 3 times risk reward. That's 156.74. And so we end up exiting the trade somewhere right over here for 3 times risk, 56.74 right over here. So 3x trades. Let's see, what else do we have in here, Dahlia? So none of this is perfect order. Here we've got another perfect order here. we wait for the retrace over here. Our stop is down at the 200. So we enter at 154. Stop is 100 pips. So 154, even 3 times risk is 157. End up exiting here for a beautiful move. So 3x trades. Let's see if we got another one. Here's another point where we have a perfect order. We wait for the retrace. We go long here, which is at 151.80. So you go long 151.80. The stop is 149.85. So that's a lot. That's 200-point stop. I don't think you need a 200-point stop in this trade. It's a 4-hour chart. 100 points is more than enough. So let's go 100 points. So 100 points plus 151.80. That's 152.80. If we 3x that, that's 154.80, I believe. And we stay in the trade until it gets over here. But even 2x is fine. But we still exit trade for 3x over there. So 4 3x trades, no losers so far on this setup. Here's another perfect order, but in this case, it retraces here. And so we go long here at 151.30. Now, unfortunately, this does keep going, and it wouldn't have hit it if we had a stop at the this moving average here. But that is just too far, because that means that we're going long 151.30 and your stop is 148, which is 280 points or something like that, which is way too much. So we'll take our 100-point hit because we had 3x, 1,200 points already built up in profit in this trade. Here we don't have a perfect order till over here, so we go here is kind of messy because the moving averages are all very close together, so you probably want to kind of avoid this trade. It's not the best trade. So here's another loser. That's okay. So we have 1,200 points of profit, 200 points of losses. Let's see if we have any other setups coming up. So this is what I call the spaghetti. When they're all compressed against each other, don't trade it. We want to see the moving averages kind of move away, and they're kind of away from each other. You don't want to trade the spaghetti. So you want to trade when things are kind of further apart. So this is a perfect example of that. So this is an example where, it rallies, retraces to over here. Now, this you would have gone long at 148. And once again, the 200 held. So that's probably a better stop than the other one because the 200 held. But, this is one of those high profit, lower, middle accuracy trades, because here we get a perfect order, and this one ends up being a pretty nice setup here, where this is a perfect order here. It retraces to the 50, by 5 pips. We go long, and there's a really nice rally over there. So no perfect orders over here at all. So these moving averages basically protect you from trading in consolidation times where it's not, we don't want to trade the chop. And by looking for perfect orders, you avoid trading the chop. So no perfect orders here because the 200 is slicing through everything here in dollar yen. And then we finally get a perfect order set up over here. So we finally get a perfect order happening right over here. It actually happens right on this candle. So then the next candle, we get the retrace, and this is the huge move. And this, you can see, we go short here at 147.71, and boom, 700-point move lower. Definitely a 3x trade here in dollar yen. Now, this also works on other currencies. Dollar yen is probably the best, but if we look at euro dollar here, we don't have any perfect orders here, but we do have a perfect order set up right over here. And we retrace to the 50. You go long over here. And so you go long at 116.30. And it's a 40-point stop. So, 120-point target easily achieved over here. Here, you also, you got a perfect order setup happening over here. This one, you do get stopped out for 100 pips. But once again, you're 3xing it here and you're losing 1x here. And we saw how that worked out with dollar yen. Not a perfect order here because the red is between these two moving averages. Once again, you're avoiding the chop. This one here, it does drop. You get the perfect order happening here. You're selling here, and this one is a loser. Unfortunately, it happens. Sometimes you have winners, sometimes you have losers. But when you catch a big winner, it can be a very, very nice trade. Dollar yen, euro dollar, we really don't get a nice trade till over here, where you're basically buying right here, and so you're buying at 116.91. Your stop is at this right here, which is 50 pips. So 91 easily achieving this 150 pip target. You can also try this on gold. Now, gold, you're going to have to use slightly different risk reward, but the whole premise is the same, where you look for a perfect order. In gold, maybe the 100 is just sufficient as a stop. So here we do have a perfect order, and you look for a retrace to the 20, probably with gold. This one, we don't know how this one's going to work out, but the last perfect order we had before that was over here. Retrace the 20, an area to buy, a stop, either the 50 to 100, depending upon your risk tolerance. And basically all the 20, the retraces the 20 are really good points to enter. And that's really great because gold is, and this is important, the reason why you like to use the 20 instead of 50 is because gold tends to be very trending with less retracements. And so the 20 gives you a nice point to potentially enter for a nicer move upwards. Like here, you would enter over here, stop at the 100, and you get a nice move over there. And this is another nice prolonged uptrend in gold as well. Here, we finally have the perfect order here. You wait for the retrace, go long here, beautiful move upwards, go long over here, beautiful move upwards. Miss this one, you go long here, beautiful move upwards. Here, stop at 100, beautiful move upwards. So the retrace to 20 is really good for gold. For Forex, you want to use retrace to 50 because Forex tops more, whereas gold trends more. It doesn't work as great in the NASDAQ. I primarily look at it in Forex and then, in gold with a slight tweak. But otherwise, it's, a really good way to swing trade and look for better entries within an overall trend and also avoid the chop. With swing trades, you want to squeeze as much of the move out as possible. You're not scalping a few pips and getting out. You're trying to ride a trend. And the best way to protect your profits while maximizing the move is with trailing stops. As the price moves in your favor, you trail your stop behind it. That way, you lock in the gains while still giving the trade the room to run. Step number 4. News and fundamental drivers. This is where a lot of swing traders mess up. They focus purely on the charts and completely ignore what's actually driving the markets. You need to be aware of two things: what affects the market in general and what affects the specific instrument that you're trading. Things that affect the market in general are like interest rate changes, geopolitical risks, growth data, inflation. These move everything. Here's a rule of thumb that will serve you well. When interest rates are falling, that tends to be good for indices like the Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ, and for individual stocks. But it's generally bad for gold and the currency. So if the Fed, for example, is looking to cut interest rates, that's bearish for the dollar. On the flip side, when a central bank is raising interest rates, that's generally positive for gold and the currency, but bearish for stocks. You've also got to focus on the news that could be specific and specifically affecting the instrument that you're trading. And equally important, be aware of the upcoming events that could sabotage your trade. You don't want to get blindsided at any point in time by an earnings report or a central bank meeting or OPEC meeting that you completely forgot about. Step number 5, journal your trades. This is a step that separates the amateurs from the professionals. After every single trade, I want you to log your entry, your exit, and your rationale for taking the trade. And this is very important. Your emotions as well. How are you feeling when you enter a trade? Did you feel confident? How did you feel during the trade? How did you feel when you exited? Why did you exit? What reason was it for? Then at the end of every week, review your journal. Look for patterns. What setups are working for you? What setups are failing? When do you tend to make the most emotional mistakes? Here's the truth that no one really wants to hear. Consistency actually comes from review, not from adding more indicators. You could have the best strategy in the world, but if you don't review your trades and learn from them, you'll keep making the same mistakes over and over again. So there you have it, my 5-step process for swing trading. Step 1, pick one instrument and master it. Step 2, choose your time frame. Step 3, use technical indicators to trade with momentum and manage your risk with trailing stops. Step 4, understand the fundamental drivers. And step 5, journal everything and review it weekly. Now remember, I mentioned our trend meters earlier. These are the tools that we built with our trading community that show you the trend across multiple timeframes at a glance. They're completely free when you use our sponsor links and code, details in the description of this video. We partner with several firms to match different trading styles. Everything you need is in the description below. Grab those trend meters and add them to your Tradingview charts and start swing trading with confidence. And I want you to drop a comment below and let me know what your biggest challenge with swing trading is right now. Whether you like swing trading or day trading, I read every single comment and your question may become my next video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.